G'day, it's Clive Roxing here. This is my first instructional video on safety. I actually got appointed as a safety officer for a while till they fired me and I blew the compressor up. But this is an exercise in working with heavy weights and using stuff like cranes. And by God, you have to be careful of this, especially when you're on your own in the middle of nowhere. Trying to do an operation like this is hellish dangerous. Now what's happened here is I can't take that belt off because I put the I put the chain in the wrong place. Now what you would normally do, I've been a manager and I've been a foreman twice. I'd be in charge of an operation like this. What normally happens is you secure it all beautiful, right? And then you think, oh, I'll just let it out of that for a second. It rolls out of there. You're in a confined space. It rolls on top of you and kills you. And this thing, oh, I reckon it'd weigh 100 pound, 120 pound. It's damn heavy. And so what I've done is I've put a second safety on here with the rope. So what I want to do now is lower that down to put tension on the rope. I've got a cross connection across here. Undo this thing here when it's got the weight, and then very, very carefully put it on the other side of that journal and then pull this belt out. This belt sits on the wrong side of the chain. But now I remember why I bought the crane. Having been a foreman is the best thing I ever did, because you become very responsible, and doing stuff like this, I have seen so many people hurt themselves doing stupid things like this and not knowing what they're doing. I've got this secured in 2 points. I've got the motor is secured on that, and that's very, very well. Those screws go almost all the way through that. You can see it's nearly pulling the wall out. And I've also got a chair underneath it as a second safety for the motor. So if the motor pulls that thing off the wall, it'll only pull the switch out and it'll fall on top of the stool. And I've got a second safety with the rope, and that's wrapped so that as you put tension on that rope, it tightens up around that bolt. That won't come out. It's only temporary. I keep an eye on it. If it looks unsafe, I redo it. You take the time I've stopped, and I'm going to have a rest and have a drink and wipe my brow, and take a good 5 or 10 minute break and come back fresh. Never ever do anything like this when you're tired. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Always go something like this fresh and make damn sure you know what you're doing, and do it one step at a time. And even look remotely unsafe, run like hell. Well, not run like hell, but get out of its way. One of the things from working with forklifts is never stand underneath a forklift. And if you see a configuration like this is going to roll back. So if I'm going to be standing anywhere, I'm going to be standing on this side of it when I'm doing this, rather than behind it, because clearly if that comes undone, that's going to roll backwards. I don't like not having both legs down, but it seems reasonably stable. It has got a little wheel there, so it's kind of supported. Seems reasonably stable. But this is my first educational video. When you're doing stuff like this at home, be very, very careful and never do it when you're tired. Once you get it all set up, then go and have a coffee break and have a sit down, have a rest, really have a good rest, and then attack it when you're fresh. And you'll have a good chance of doing it without killing yourself. It turns out that belt was no good. It was flapping around there. This belt's damaged. I won't mess around with that. But yeah, that belt needs to be replaced. But I wanted to pull that thing off. That's why I bought the crane. This configuration here is big, heavy behemoth. So I had to be very, very careful how I pulled that off. And I want to have a look at these bearings and see how they work. And it looks like there's Allen keys and everything missing out of them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that needed some attention on this. So, Clive Roxing over and out.